and how to take a small little flash like the, here's the new flash. It's brand new. It's called the F60, but I'm gonna do a lot with this teeny weeny flash. What could you do? Could you produce professional results with this small little flash, right? And okay, how many, be honest, especially these guys right here, who's scared of flash? Raise your hand. Oh, okay, great. You know, flash can be very intimidating. And you know, I used to teach manual flash a lot, but actually the technology got quite good. And if you're just starting with flash, actually TTL is not a bad way to go, because it's kind of like shooting in program. You're gonna get something, and it's gonna actually look really decent because the technology is really good. So let's get going. So if you really wanna be great, you gotta master these 4 fundamentals, okay? Composition, posing, post-processing is important now, and lighting is key. And each one of these could take you a couple years to master, okay? But we're gonna talk a little bit about lighting today. So I'm gonna be using this small F, look how small this is. Are you curious on what this can do? I'm gonna show you what it can do, all right? And start from the very beginning, okay? So let me do a few little, just get going with this and start shooting, okay? So I have my lighting assistant, okay? I'm gonna take a picture of my beautiful model. Your name is?
Julieta.
Julieta. Can you guys remember that for me? Because I'm terrible with names. Julieta. Okay, and I'm gonna actually do it raw. Take it out of that. Okay, and I'm gonna show you like a studio shot just using with straight flash what it looks like. Because sometimes you don't even know what it looks like, so let's do it. So that's in TTL mode, okay? Alrighty. And come up a little bit, Julieta, right there. Okay, and so, actually, you know what? I'm gonna have one of my students come up and hold the flash for me, because they're used to where to put it. So, okay, so I'm gonna have that, actually, let's come over here so the audience can see. She already knows to put the nose towards the light. Okay, so I'm gonna fire a straight flash, put your nose towards the light, Julieta. Okay, look this way. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eliminate all the ambient light. Okay, so I'm gonna take a shot where it looks completely dark. Okay, so no, don't let this reflect my photography skills. I want it to be dark. So I'm gonna have my camera settings where it's pretty dark, and I think at about 5.6, it looks dark. And I want that, okay? I don't know if they show that. Okay, see that? I want that, because now I'm gonna use my light to create what I want, and I'm gonna get rid of all the ambient light. So I'm starting from 0. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so I'm gonna do that, right? I'm gonna turn my flash on, okay? And I'm gonna test it to make sure it fires, and it's not, because probably we didn't turn it on. Is it turned on?
Yep, it's on. I thought it did.
Did it fire? Okay, great. So we'll take a shot right here. 1, Juliet, can you turn your eyes this way? And okay, look up towards the light. Right there, good. Chin up just a bit. And look back at me. Right there, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna use the eye focus to nail it. Boom, okay? And so you get a shot, and that's without thinking, okay? And so it's gonna get you close. So if you're, look how sharp that is. So if you're in the wedding game and you need to get a quick shot, okay, that's decent. But if you need to fix it a little bit, I'm gonna go in, and I'm just gonna turn that down maybe a 1/7 of a stop. Just to, because she's wearing a lot of white, okay? So I'm gonna turn it down, okay, and I'll do another, same pose, right? I'll lock it in with the eye focus and see how I can kind of get that. That's better, right? 2 shots. No thinking. Who likes no thinking? Raise your hand. When you get in the crunch of a wedding day, a lot of times you don't want to think because you got the crazy mother-in-law screaming in your ear. You got the bride. You're trying to manage so much. That's why TTL is important, because you don't want to think sometimes, but get a decent shot. All right, great. So that's just by itself. Okay, Keith, thank you very much. Thank Keith, everybody. We're going to put this in a diffuser. And let's look at the quality light now. And so this is just a small 26-inch pop-up diffuser, okay? And let's see what kind of quality we can get. And we'll do relatively the same shot. And I'll put it right here, okay? And maybe get it a little bit higher. Now, this is just a small little flash, right, in this thing. And let's see what we can get. What I'm trying to do is use the edge of the light, which is the softest, okay? So I'm not putting it in the center here. I'm using that edge right there, which is the sweet spot. Sweet spot is not the middle, it's the edge, okay? But it uses less power, though, so you got to make sure you have enough juice to use the edge. Okay, so beautiful shot again. Eye focus, bam, 1, 2, no thinking, bam. Look how soft that light is. To me, I could probably go down just a bit more. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it down to 1 stop just to make it a little bit softer. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, good. And you can't tell that much, but I just wanna make sure I don't blow all the highlights out, okay? So typically when I use TTL, I'm always about 0.7 stops to 1.7 stops under. Usually that seems to work for me, okay? So now I can get big, beautiful light from a small source. And that is not studio lighting. That's just that small little flash. Now, why does that work? How do you know when to use big flashes versus small flashes, right? Should I spend and get all that huge studio stuff? Or can I do stuff with that small flash? So let's talk about that. Let's go back to my slide presentation. And let's talk about how to maximize a small flash to get the best quality out of it, right? Interested? So let's do that. Okay, so how to get big results from a small light source. 1, you gotta diffuse the light, which means put it through a diffuser, which makes it bigger, okay? So instead of it being that small flash like that, now it's bigger. The bigger the light, the softer it is, the more quality you're gonna get from a portrait, okay? And then 2, you've gotta move. Now this is the biggest mistake that I see most photographers do with lighting, is they don't move this light close to the subject. They'll put it like way out here. This loses significant quality. Why? Anybody know why? Yes, the source size is smaller. Now let me give you an example, okay? Okay, and another thing is you gotta use off-camera flash. It's gotta be wireless, so if I had an on-camera flash, my flash would be 10 feet away. But if you're off camera and controlling light from here, I can keep it close to my subject and you're not gonna lose quality. So you gotta be off camera, okay? Now, look at this. This is my front yard, so anyways. Okay, look at okay, this is 16 inches. Now, can I make this perform like a 33-inch umbrella? Right? Well, I can. Why? Because look at the next picture. What's bigger? The 16-inch one or the 33-inch one? This one. So how did I make that bigger than that? By distance. You get it? This is so much closer to the subject. So if you go back here, I can make a 16-inch diffuser work just as good as a 33-inch at 10 feet away, but you gotta get it close. So instead of putting it 10 feet, get it as close as possible, and you're going to get some amazing light. Are you curious to see what this little 16-inch can do, right? So I did that. Here's a shot. That's using that 16-inch diffuser, but I'm getting it really close. Now look how beautiful that light is, right? It's just about getting that light source as close as possible to give you the beautiful light. Right there, okay? So size matters. All right, so now let's do some more demos, okay? Well, we're not gonna do that pop-up thing. Trust me, it works, but let's get on to some more interesting demos, okay? Let's do, instead of that pop-up, let's use this small flash, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use one flash on her, okay? And then I'm gonna put a little rim light on her also, okay? So do we have two flash? Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna use the 60 for a little bit of rim light, okay? So if I can have you come up here, and you're gonna be on this side, okay? Just go back a little bit. I'm gonna use this light right here. Okay, great. So if you could turn your face this way and turn your body the other way, actually. Or how do you want to pose? Your face needs to go this way, towards the light. Okay, good. Beautiful, love that. Okay, great. So I'm gonna use this light to light her, and I'm just gonna put a little catch light there to add that rim light, okay? So we're gonna do a test to see everything turns on, and we're gonna go, okay, look back this way. 1, 2, ready. Great. Okay, now look up into that light. Now it's a little bit hot, right? So, well, sometimes on TTL you gotta shoot a couple times to sink in, okay? Can you move a little bit closer to the light? And come over, yeah, right there. Okay, look up towards me. Look towards me, right there, good. 1, 2, 3, great. Okay, it's a little bit hot, right? So it's reading something. TTL's like something's going on. It's not quite reading it, but you have the ability to adjust it. Okay, so I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna push it down to about 2 stops, 1.7 stops. Okay, and hit that. Okay, let's do it again. Look this way. Perfect. And see how I can adjust that light and bring it down? I'm gonna go all the way down to 2.3 stops under exposing, okay? And it's just a simple dial-in, okay? And it's nothing complicated. And we're gonna dial that light in so you don't blow those highlights out, okay? Can you just step back just one more little bit? Okay, good, right there. And just back here, this one, good. Now, it could be throwing off because this light is hitting there and also hitting this too. So can you just lower that and turn it sideways? And fire it right at her hair right here. So you're gonna turn this light sideways like this. Okay, so the only thing that I could think that's throwing this off is this other flash, hitting that and off. So I'm eliminating that, I'm kind of problem solving and say, why didn't it get it right? It's because this other light is adding it into it, and it's kind of a wild card, right? And that's not set in TTL either, okay? So I'm gonna just dial it down and do it 1, 2, and okay, let's just take it away altogether and see what happens. Okay, do it. 1, 2, 3. Now it's perfect. Okay, so you could see that that could be affecting it a little bit. Okay, so we got a little bit of rim light. Let's do one with the rim light, and let me just dial that C down. That one wild card, it's at 32nd power. I'm gonna pull it all the way down to 64th power, so it just kisses it. I don't need a lot of light at all. I'm just using small strobes here, okay? And we're gonna just dial it down and get it. Once you fire it, is it on? Perfect. 1, 2, 3, good. And see how it lights up the veil, okay? And so I am just kissing it with light and doing a complex lighting situation with a main and a highlight, okay? Great. Now we're gonna get a little bit more complicated. Let's do some fun stuff, okay? You might be wondering, why the heck these laundry baskets are here. Okay? So you can go to Walmart for $6.99 and buy this laundry basket. What's good about a laundry basket? These holes on the side. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a flash, okay? It's in TTL mode, so I'm not even thinking here. I put a blue gel on it, okay? I'm firing that blue gel through the holes here onto this background, okay? And it's gonna create a really cool pattern. Now, I'm not even thinking. I'm just putting it in TTL. Then I'm gonna use this light here. And whenever you use a backdrop, you wanna pull your subject as far away from the background as possible because you don't want this light to contaminate that color. So I'm gonna have my subject come up as close, right up here. Good, right? So now there's more distance, so when this light hits my subject, it's gonna hit her and it's gonna fall off, and I'm gonna get that blue back there, okay? So let's try it with just the one gel, blue here, there, TTL, and let's see what we can come up with, okay? Without even thinking, okay? So we're gonna do a little bit more. That's okay, we could do a little bit more. Look at me this time. We're gonna do a little bit more split lighting a bit. Okay, let's test it to see if it goes off. That's the key, okay? Ready? I'm gonna move back a bit and watch this. One shot, no thinking. Boom! Drop the mic, I can leave now. No, thank Sony, okay? That's what you could do with TTL and not think. You can be what? Creative. One shot, no thinking, being creative. You want to get even more creative? Let's add another laundry basket. So you're going to have to bust your budget and spend another $6.99 at Walmart to get 2 laundry baskets, okay? This time I'm going to use another one, maybe a little different pattern here, and I'm going to put a red gel. So I put a blue gel here. And I go, what the heck? I'm gonna try a red gel over here. And so I get a cross pattern, okay? And that's also in is that on, by the way? Perfect. All right, that's also in TTL mode. And let's see, are you excited to see what happens? I am. Okay, great. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, boom. Okay? Very cool. Now, you could say, you know what? The red's a little bit hot. I could take that down. So what letter is that? I think that's A, right? So I'm going to go into A, and I'm going to say A. Oh, I know why. Wait, A's 2 down? Okay. I'm going to try to pull it down a little bit, and maybe my blue. Sometimes the blue is too hot. That means you need to turn down the power. Okay, but we'll try it again. How about you just look straight at me? Because you look gorgeous right there. Let's see what happens here. 1, 2, 3. I got my eye focus. Boom. Wait, I got you blinking a little bit. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay, see how I controlled the red? I pulled it down a bit. And to make the blue a little bit stronger, right? You can see the difference right there. I might take that down. That's B. So I might actually pull that one down a bit and see how that goes. Okay, so I'm going to pull that down just a little bit. You know what? I have no idea, just like you. I'm just thinking, experimenting, seeing what happens. But TTL makes it pretty easy because you could say, oh, that one down, that one up. Go for it, all right? So here we go again. 1, 2, 3. And it's about the same, right? I mean, really, all that screwing around and it looks like the same almost as first. Who cares, right? But I'm trained as a wedding photographer, and literally there are times when I only get 1 or 2 minutes to take a portrait. And how would you like to do this at your next wedding? You will have to bring some laundry baskets with you, but you could set this up literally in 1 minute and rip it off. Have something different, have some fun, right? You can even use colors that match The wedding party. Okay, great. So let's move on. Let's go to my presentation and talk about that. Okay? So this is kind of what we did. Let me get some water here. Actually, at this point, does anybody have any questions about what I did and why I did it? The keys to this, what are the keys? One, set it to TTL. This is the important key. Two, make sure that your exposure before the flash is dark, so you eliminate all the ambient light, okay? Another third key is you need to pull your subject far away. You can't have her right here, okay? Because what happens with light is the distance to your subject is the distance that the light will carry behind her, then drop by 2 stops, okay? So if I have her, press her, can you go close to the backdrop? Can you just move close to this backdrop? So if I have the light, move right there, right here. So if I have the light right here, the light's gonna travel 3 feet. It's gonna travel 3 feet behind her and hit this backdrop. But if I move her forward, let's say I move her all the way up here, I don't have to worry about this light if I get this source close to my subject. Now let's say she's here, right? And I see a lot of photographers do this. Don't make this mistake, okay? Don't set your light right here. Why? Because it's gonna travel 10 feet, and it's also gonna travel 10 feet behind her and screw up your gel. You need to separate that. You need to fully control your backdrop and fully control your light on your subject. So if I get her close to the light, right here, Juliet, so if you can stand right here, now when I control this light, I can also independently control this light too. Does that make sense? And also, the closer that you get the light to your subject, the higher quality it's gonna be, okay? So those shots were with the most basic, simplest, smallest little flash. So you're saying to yourself, why do I even need studio lights? Sometimes I ask that question too, because when I see work, I go, well, you could have just done that with some strobes. You can. You can do it. So I say, explore the possibilities with the smallest equipment. And then if you need more, go up. But don't buy the best first without realizing what the smallest does first, okay? Let's go back to my presentation. Good, thanks, Juliet. Okay, when will these small flashes not work that well? Let's talk about, they work great in here when they're indoors, okay? But when do they don't work? Well, in bright light situations, okay? When the light is so strong, when you're shooting and trying to get that beautiful blue sky, these small flashes are designed to give you enough power to set your background to the bright sky and your subject with them about 5 or 6 feet away. And that's about it. But what happens when you want to diffuse your light? You're going to lose 4 times the power. So one small flash in bright light, if you do bright light here and you try to do the setup and your flash is 6 feet away because you got to take a group of people, it's not going to have enough juice. And so that's why people go, oh, small flashes are not good enough. But there's something you could do is that you can gang them together, okay? You could put more than one together. And so let me show you some examples, okay? That's why you need to get their new flash. This one is twice as strong as the other flash. And what's great about this flash is it also has a battery pack so it could recharge it faster, and it's really small, so you can get more flashes out of it. Because a typical small flash like this at full power, how many flashes are you going to get at full power with a small flash like this? These people up here can't answer. Anybody know? You can only get about 100 or so. 100 flashes and that's it. So that's why you got to have battery pack too sometimes. Okay, so let's look at some examples here of how I used a softbox in super bright light, okay? So here we are doing an event at Sony. And see how I gang those flashes together? I put 4 of those small flashes together, and we're going to shoot a sunset shot. And I think I'm at F20. I'm at F20 here with 4. Look how beautiful that light is at F20. And that's not with a fancy softbox. That's with a darn shoot-through umbrella that costs $15. Okay? So don't diss the umbrella. It's been around for years. It's handy. It's fast to set up. If you lose it, who cares? It's 15 bucks. But it does amazing stuff, and I use it mostly all the time when I'm outdoors, and it can produce beautiful work if you know how to do it, okay? And so I'm just getting that flash really close to my subject and letting the flash do the work. So what do? I set my background first. Okay, so I set my background to get that deep, beautiful sky. My subject is dark. And then I just let the flash determine how much light I need. That's TTL. TTL, you will let the flash and the camera determine how much light you need on your subject. Okay? It's just like being in program mode or aperture priority. And you let technology work for you. This is an absolute great way to get started when you feel totally, oh man, flash seems complicated. I'm not sure what to do. You use these simple rules of ganging flashes together, putting it in TTL, get your light close to the subject. You will get results just like this on your first shot. I guarantee it, okay? All right, so here's another situation. It doesn't look like it, but I'm in super bright light, 12 noon in Hawaii, okay? So what I like doing is setting up my umbrella, okay, to create shade. So what I did was I set it, because it was really bright light, and the subject was squinting, and so I set my umbrella up to create shade for them so they could be relaxed and have a relaxed expression. And then I just fired my flash. I set my background first. Because if the background is blown out, I got 0 picture, right? What's interesting about this picture is the background. So I got to make sure that that can be seen. I set that first. My subject is dark, but he's in shade. And then see how I grouped those 4 flashes together? And I lit up my subject, and I'm at F20. F20. Right? That's pretty bright light. And that's an easy technique to use. Okay? Here, now without flash. Okay, I'm shooting. Now, why even use flash when I can, shoot at all ISOs? But sometimes, you see how there's kind of raccoon eyes? What's raccoon eyes? It's when the shadows go over the eye and it creates darkness. And so I see that darkness in there. I just wanted to pull that out a little bit. These monitors are a little bit brighter than the actual shot. So see that darkness in the eyes? What I wanted to do was get this darkness out with the flash. It changes the look a little bit, but again, I just set it up with an umbrella in TTL, and I got a shot. And now I get those beautiful catch lights in the eyes, and it looks like, oh, wow, there's a sunset on my subject. But I didn't have to think. I just shot. What did I do first? I set my background first. So I still am in manual, and I say, give me the brightness that I want to see these. If I set my background where I can't see these, then it'll just light my subject, and my background will be completely dark. So you got to set your background first and then let the flash do all the heavy lifting and give you just the right light you need. You say, hey, I want background, flash. You do what you do to give me the right light. Then, if that light is too bright, you could dial it down with your exposure, or you could dial it back up, okay? All right, so we could do a few more things. We could do a few more demos. All right, so let's get through this. Okay, here again, perfect situation. Look at that light over. I mean, maybe if you shot it right here, it's a pretty cool shot. But why isn't it cool? Anybody submit prints into competition? Okay. Why would this shot not fly in competition? If you squint and look at this picture, where do your eyes go first? Right to her booty, which is pretty nice, but that you're not supposed to look there first, right? Okay? Because all the light is here, your eye is going here. Where should it go? Right here. Okay? Now the problem is she's wearing white. So if she's facing this way and the light is coming this way, this is going to be the brightest part because she's wearing white. So if I turn her body away and put her face towards the light, this will get darker. And then I can light her face. So now I'm using my flash, I'm putting it in TTL mode, I'm setting my background first because I want to make sure I can see these, what kind of bushes are these? I don't know. But I want to make sure I see that. And then let my flash determine how much light I need, okay? And so now I turn a button. Isn't it darker down here? Because the light, her body is facing away from the light. It naturally makes it darker. Now when you squint at the photo, what do you see first? Bam, her face, right? That's a good and proper exposed picture. But those are the nuances that you have to notice if you want to be a great photographer, is how that light lays on your subject. Getting a good exposure is easy, but getting that right to lay the right way, with the right position, with the right pose, it all has to come together to get a great shot, okay? All right, so let's keep going on. Let's do a few more shots. Since we got a few more images, let's do a shot where we're doing some side lighting, okay? So what we're gonna do is do this same shot. Now, one rule is to always put the nose towards the light. So if I put this light back here, okay, and I've pointed in this, I'm gonna let you guys do this. If it's pointing in this direction, come on, Juliet, which way should her nose be pointing? Towards the light. So Juliet, I want you to do a pose. All you gotta do is point your nose towards that light. Okay. Another thing you gotta realize, too, is if she puts her hand up here, it may cast a shadow across her body, right? But we'll see. And so what I could do is kind of fade that light off just a bit like this to use the edge of it and see what we can do so it's not so harsh. Okay, so that's turned on. Everything is turned on. Get it going. Okay, so let's try another shot. Her nose is towards that light, and I'm just gonna take another. I like how you're looking down, actually. And bring that other hand up like that. Okay, let's try that. That looks beautiful right there. I'm gonna take another shot without any kind of guess. Oh my gosh. No thinking, folks. Drop the mic. Boom. Okay? Now, that's not doing anything. That's just doing the basics and coming up huge. Right? I surprise myself sometimes. And that's using the basics of just the lighting. Now, it's a little bit hot, so that's number what? C. So I'm going to take C, and I'm going to pull that down just a bit. C is at even. So I'm going to say C, pull down 2/3 of a stop, and let's see what we got, okay? Let's do it again. Okay, she's giving me something. Can you turn your shoulders more towards me? There it is, right there. And how about if you take that veil and pull it out? Yeah, okay, good. And I want something on this side. So I'm trying to balance the pose. If there's something on this here, I need some balance on this side, okay? If there's a yin, there needs to be a yang, okay? So I'm trying to balance the pose out right? And make sure the hands are never at the same level. So I want one, maybe I should just pose, something like that. How about something like this? Juliet, how about something like this? Yeah, good. How about holding the veil? One, yeah, there, right there, perfect. Nose towards that light right there. Good, right there. Hand a little bit closer to you. This in, right there. Bring this in. How about like this? Yeah, good. Yeah, okay, good. Nose towards that light. Right there. Turn. Keep your body towards me. Good. Right there. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I got it down where that exposure is a little bit better. In camera, it's a little bit darker. The screens are a little bit brighter. Okay, but I'm managing that light. Okay, now let's be fancy and add some more. Because guess what? I did not think. I have more time to be creative. That's the whole point. If your creativity doesn't come out, then your signature style doesn't come out, then you are nobody. But if you're going to the shoot and go, oh my gosh, what setting do I put this? How do I pose? Oh my gosh, I'm confused. I'm lost. You spend your whole time trying to manage the light. You got zero creativity. But if you come in and go, guess what? I'm going to just do this in TTL, rip off some stuff. You get something. Now you got extra 30 seconds to be creative. Wow, that's a luxury in wedding photography, an extra 30 seconds. Okay? So let's be creative. Let's get another flash and try to do a rim light. Let's actually put it behind her. And let's do something new. Let's go behind. Can you put down on the ground? I just want to create a halo around her head. Okay? Now, I can't put all 4 in TTL, but I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to put that flash at 1/4 power and blow the heck out of it and see what happens. See, this is fun. The experimentation gives you something new. So if you don't experiment, then you're never going to create something new. So that's why, what the heck? You got to try it once in a while. I don't know. Who knows? Let's see. 1/4 power. That's because it feels right. I have no reason why. Okay? Good. All right, so you're going to shine that on the back of her head. She's going to do something with her nose pointed that way. Okay? And I want to see that other shoulder. Good. Look. Okay, good. How about if you totally just turn your head sideways like this? Good. And turn your body a little bit more meat, but you're going to really, I want to see a profile, your profile. So if you turn your head, I know you're not supposed to touch models, but it's just faster this way sometimes. Okay, turn something like that. Okay, and let's just put this hand out right here. And let's open up the veil because I want that veil to shine through with that backlight. Okay, so I'm going to do a test. You always test your light before you shoot. I see this all the time. You start getting excited. You start shooting 20 shots before not even looking at once. And then you go, oh crap, the lighting was wrong. You got to redo the whole darn thing over again. So you always test if everything goes off. Okay, so this is great. I'm running out a little bit of real estate here. Can you just bring your arm in just a tad? Yep, that way. Oh, actually, let's do this way. So if she brings her hand this way, it gets bigger, right? And so you don't want to change the perspective. So I'm just going to bring it in closer to her body like this. You always shoot the edge of the hand, and you always have it bent. Okay? All right. So now I'm going to bring it in there. I'm going to take the shot. I'm running out of real estate. I might fall over, but guess what? I'll take it for the team. I'll do it. 1, 2, 3. And you can start to see some of the light come through, but not a lot. So let's just go, what the heck, full power and see what we can do. So now I'm going to just go up to full power and see what magic we can do. Okay, I'm going to hit the test button. Did it change to full? All right. So make sure you're shining it at this veil over here. So can you move over this way? Right there, boom. Beautiful. Juliet, you're doing awesome. 1, 2, 3. Great. Okay, now can you just bring that other hand up this way somewhere? Same pose. But I just want to get this, look, the same pose. There you go, right there. I just want to get both hands to create that balance, but I may have to take it for the team. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, boom. All right? Okay, so it is a little bit hot, but I just wanted to show you using that. Now, let's come over on this side and try to do a side light. It may throw it off because light coming into TTL can, man, mess things over big time. That's all you gotta remember. When you're using TTL, you can't shine another light right into it because it's gonna like be crazy. So can you so I'm gonna have him block that off. Why am I having him block that off? Because I don't want that to leak over onto here, okay? And so I don't buy grids or anything like that. I have the assistants, and I just tell them to do that. That's faster than like, oh, okay, where's my bag? Let me put a grid on it. Too slow. Hand works good, okay? So I'm gonna try doing a light. Come in a little bit closer, right? Okay, now that's gonna be super bright, so I'm gonna tone that down some, okay? So I'm gonna take D, and I'm gonna bring it down to like, back down to like an 8th power. I'm guessing here. 16th power, okay? Let's see what we got, all right, good? Juliet, you're looking beautiful. You can look at me a little bit this side. Turn your nose a little bit more. Right there, good. 1, 2, 3, good. Oh, right, now just got a little highlight on the hair, okay? And so this is fun with using a lot of different flashes, but TTL allows you to get creative and experiment with stuff. Thank you for coming, and thank you for Sony, and go check out the new flash, check out the new camera, the A7 III. All right, thank you very much.